What's up, fellas? This is the notorious Suzuki TM400 motor in a Kawasaki KX420 frame. It's a Frankenstein stump puller. Big bore. It's a big bore. She's wagging. She's happy. Sounds good, Ed. Now, it's halfway through the conversion from Kawasaki to Suzuki. It'll be a one-of-a-kind, the only one ever made. Sounds pretty good, huh? Runs good, huh? So Ed, this is the mastermind behind the creation, Ed from Brockton, right?
Yes.
Brockton, Mass. Now, when you called me on this, you said you had a TM400, but it's kind of a custom Frankenstein creation here. It's started life as a TM400 motor, and you found a really nice KX420 unitrack frame and created all the brackets for it, handmade all the brackets.
Designed them.
Now, what do you do for a living? You're a parts manager, right?
I'm a parts manager at a body shop in Plymouth, Massachusetts, King Collision. I'm in control of what goes in and out of the body shop. I'm the only parts guy. Sometimes I get help, but for the most part, it's all me. I look at $1.5 million worth of car parts a year.
So parts is your thing,
I've
and
been in parts over 30
what
years.
inspired you to take one of the most notoriously ill-handling motorcycles ever, the TM400, and put it in the KX frame? I think that's self-explanatory, but you wanted a big bore two-stroke that handled good, right?
Yes, the original TMs, obviously, it was the 70s. Dirt bikes were archaic back then, the way they built. The technology that's come along today is so much more.
So we're going to take your dream here, and we're going to take it to another level. We already ordered the parts. The bike just showed up. We ordered a full Mayer yellow plastic kit for it. We'll polish up all the aluminum, put a nice set of Hoosiers on there, some Renthal bars, number plates, and do some nice videos on it. You've completely rebuilt the motor on this thing too, right?
Yes, sir, 3 times.
What you did the crank and the top end and everything? Because it runs beautifully.
Crank, top end, all case bearings, clutch discs, all that shit, all of it.
You said it's a real stump puller too, huh?
Yes.
And you're taking her out in the woods, it handles good?
Yes. You have to take the pipe off and fix it. It has a couple of holes.
So you rode it when it was a TM400. What was your impression?
I thought I was going to die. I have a picture to show you what this bike looked like before, so it's proof that it is an original TM400.
Why'd you think you were going to die? Because it was such an ill-handling monster?
Make the story short, I was in the Navy for 4 years. I served in the Gulf War, 90 to 94 in Long Beach, California. I was a machinist. I did heavy industrial machine work. And my aunt lived in Riverside. And every chance I could get, I'd go visit her. Her son had a DT400 Yamaha. I was riding it one day through the orange groves. And out of the clear blue, this house appears with the TM400 sitting in front of the house.
So you found the TM400
it was
first.
a holy grail because I drove, it was miles and miles of orange groves, and this house comes out of nowhere.
So you bought the TM.
Yep, and I'll tell you the story. So the guy comes out, he's like, "How you doing?" I said, "All right."
One. So Ed, you rode the TM. You said it was one of the worst handling bikes you ever rode.
Yes,
right?
I have a picture right here to show you to prove that it was a TM at one time. That's me in San Bernardino, in Riverside County.
What year?
1992.
Holy shit! So you've had this bike for 30 years?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god! And you've rebuilt the motor 3 times?
Yep.
Now that was like 4 inches of suspension travel and maybe 5 up in the front.
Correct.
Motor of doom. So you knew the KX420 was a huge leap forward, and you figured you'd make it work, huh?
Exactly.
What do you have to do to get the 400 motor in the 420 frame?
Basically, the 420 frame is wider than the TM400, and I know how to fabricate and such. Took measurements. I centered the motor in the cradle and then made my measurements for what I had to make for mounts.
Everything lines up beautifully. The bike runs amazing. Obviously, we got to put a new throttle and throttle cable on it. We'll go right through it and we'll take it to the next level. So you've had it for 30
years.
30 years, wow. How many hours ride time do you think you put on? Did you ride it much or no?
No.
So it was more of a...
Every time I would drive it, something would happen. Then I rebuilt it. I rode it once and put it away. I'm like, this motorcycle, you can ride in the vintage class and you will love it all day long. It's a trophy bike. So if a person buys it, they do a turkey run once a year, clean it up, put it back and deliver it. It's a trophy bike. It's old. It's all brand new, all rebuilt.
We already have half the I have an RM500 we're redoing, and I have half the plastic kit. We're going to order a full mare kit on this and then do a wrap on the tank, and it'll look like a Suzuki.
That's awesome.
Well, thank you for bringing us the bike. Stay tuned, guys. We're going to take this thing to the next level, take Ed's dream here, and make this bike a serious blessing. Thanks for watching. God bless America. So, Ed, you were a machinist in the military, and
yes,
how many hours experience machining?
I have 3 hours time machining.
3 hours?
3,000 hours.
3,000. That's like three years.
Yeah, apprentice. Big vertical turret lathes, precision grinding, manual lathes, milling, making gears. I worked in the military. Yes, I went in the military to change my life and support our country.
That's awesome. God bless America. They say machinists make the best mechanics, and I guess you'd have to have a machinist background to fabricate all the brackets and the spacers and everything else. And you just did a beautiful job, and I know how much work it is doing these conversions, so hats off. You did a beautiful job. We're just going to take it to the next level.
Yep.
We got Devon from the hood. What's going on, Devon?
Not much.
Doing up an RM500?
Yep, working on this.
Gonna make it beautiful?
Yep.
Got another 89 CR500 coming down the pike. We got this beautiful YZ250 that I think they spent somewhere around 20 hours polishing all aluminum on this, and we got a little carried away. It came out beautiful. That's the only time I've ever seen a raw pipe polished like chrome. That was no easy task. That one's coming down the pike. Got Mean Dean spinning the wrenches on this CR500AF. Built500.com. This thing's gonna be straight up nasty. Talon hubs, Talon rims, Hoosier tires, anodized chain and sprockets, polished aluminum frame, polished aluminum engine covers, brand new motor, Talon up front, of course, matching. This is a sick machine right here, man. I can't wait to ride this one. One of my favorites.